Welcome back to the city of Korvosa. Or is this your first visit? No matter. The Curse of the Crimson Throne welcomes one and all. This actual play is a dark fantasy full of grim and grit. We at RollTales recommend that you at least be 18 years of age before joining us on this journey. 7 Days to the Grave contains mature content and a potential reminder of recent history. Discretion is advised. The dice will give and will certainly take. Lift the veil or seal your fate. 7 days could be all you have. The grave awaits. The grave awaits. Our tale resumes. At the house of Zalara Esmeralda, number 3 Lancet Street. Our player characters, after aiding who they believed was Trinia Sabor, have been summoned here at the urging of Duskbrew. These 4 voicing individuals came together with the common goal to help a friend, save her from execution. But lo and behold, it was not actually Trinia on the chopping block. Instead, it was a very convincing lookalike. It seems like Queen Iliosa, trying to unite the people under one umbrella after the Edge of Anarchy, used this poor woman who looked like Trinia as an scapegoat. Apparently it was Trinia Sabor who murdered her husband, the late King Eardred Arabasti II, but things are certainly suggesting otherwise now. The scapegoat, the sham of the execution, and now for the first time in 10 years, the vigilante Blackjack has returned to Korvosa and has so far, in one single showing, managed to rally up the people against the Crimson Throne. With all of that chaos just very recently behind them in Lancet Street, the Harrow reader Zalara revealed to the party that she was actually an undead ghost, seemingly bound here by fate, as her former home Korvosa is under threat. Threat from what? She doesn't know, but she recently aided a group of another 4 adventurers in these matters, and now she's reaching out to this new party of 4, because what is happening is not by chance, accident, or sheer bad luck. Everything has purpose, intention, and everything is orchestrated. Orchestrated by who? Well, Zalara has offered our new party to perform a Harrow reading for them in order to find out. Or maybe, at the very least, get some answers. Let's bring the game back in. Zalara brings you all around a Harrow table here in Lancet Street. The table is old, well used, and to be plain, it has seen better days. But maybe in a weird way that's a good thing, because it shows you the experience that this fortune teller had in life. And considering in this ghost-like form she is making a show of the 52 cards of the Harrow deck swirling all around her, giving off the intention this woman's powers in death are very legitimate. What if they were in life? Ronan, as you stand there watching this display, you hear a voice speak to you. Because last time I didn't actually realise that Lumen had the familiar ability of speech. But realising this week, you hear a voice, and I'm gonna skin it because Ronan's familiar is a moth. It's a voice in your head. And what's unique about this voice is, although you know it's from Lumen uses your own voice in order to commune with you. You don't know why Lumen does this, they just do. As Lumen says to you, Ronan, there is something about this woman. I do not think she is a hack that we have seen on multiple occasions at Reefclaw Run Market.
Well, she's a bit more than that currently, because she is a ghost. Don't expect to see ghosts at Reefclaw Market now, do ya?
No. And if she is bound here by fate, I think we should listen to this. I want to listen to this.
Well, sure. Like I said, I was going to go put dinner on, but, you know, I can hang around for a bit.
Pay attention. You may learn something here. And Lumen is actually, if I'm not conveying it in my voice because I've had cold and flu recently, Lumen is saying this with, the tone is meant with sincerity and with seriousness and purpose. Lumen is also interested in what's happening here. As Zalara actually floats down to the table where there is a chair laid out, and as she floats into the chair, she actually transforms back into the more human visage that you saw when you first met her. The Harrow deck all gathers into her hand as she lays out the spread amongst the table. And I can only speak for Alex and Greg here, but I've been looking forward to doing this again. This was so cool last time.
Yes, it was.
It was.
So she lays out the Harrow deck in front of all of you. Okay. Has that come up for everybody?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. So what Zalara does is she puts the deck into a spread of 9. 3 columns, 3 rows. Zalara speaks and explains the first part of any Harrow reading is the choosing. You see, when one is chosen by the Harrow, one of the cards in the deck comes forth to that person and represents them for what is about to come. Not only that, something new has developed recently, which is perhaps connected to what is going on with this city. Fate and destiny operate fine. Prophecy can no longer be fulfilled or set in stone, but fate and destiny still have their tethers, and when it is threatened, it grants those blessed by the Harrow with unique abilities. The 4 adventurers who I just previously mentioned were granted abilities by the Harrow, and I believe from this choosing, you will also gain abilities. If you do not wish to aid or take heed of my words this day, then consider this gift a thank you reward for what you have done for Miss Tanya this day. That is the name of the woman who was used as a scapegoat by the Crimson Throne, today's execution. But let us begin our reading. Mr. Duskbrew, you are a world traveller. You are a child of two lands. You have seen much, especially at the end of a tankard. But there is discipline and power to you as well. Please, select the first card for your choosing. And hopefully if I've done this right, Alex, you should be able to hover over a card, click it and pick one.
Yeah, I can select it, so let's do this at random. This one. Oh, okay.
So, what appears is the card of the joke. As Zalara looks at the card and says, "Ah, yes, the joke. The joke is a card that shows that terror that must be overcome. However, this terror must be overcome by trickery or artifice. You, Lou, with your unique martial arts style, sometimes you are drunk, and sometimes you only pretend to be. Your fighting style is very reminiscent of the joke, and therefore the joke will aid you in your fighting style. So Lou, your Harrow power for this chapter is once per day you can use the joke to actually get a automatic critical success at a feint action
Nice.
as a free action, and that's now gone into your character sheet. As Solara pulls that card away and she turns and she says, "Larric of the Grey Lady's Guard, would you like to choose your card?" You with us, Ben?
Oh, sorry, I didn't realise you were talking to me.
Oh, God.
I'll be completely honest.
Larric
I
of the
was
Grey...
listening, and I just didn't register that it was me.
You forgot the name of your own character.
Yes.
Yes.
My name's Ben.
So, yep. So, you're up. Pick a card.
That one.
Yep. You should be able to click on it.
There we
go.
go. Oh, that's sick as hell.
Yeah, the card. Oh, the art for these cards are fantastic. The card of the Silent Hag crops up as Zalara looks at you and she says, The Silent Hag is not usually a good card. It's a very negative card. But one could say that you are steeped in the negative energies of the void, Larric. A member of the Grey Lady's Guard under the leadership of Pharasma, Azani, and Gorum, seeking to destroy the undead and laying the dead to rest. Speaking selfishly for a moment, I hope in some form or fashion you will be able to help me resolve whatever this is that is going on in Corvosa right now. But considering your role in the Grey Lady's Guard, I think the misaligned meaning of this card comes into effect with you, Larric. You see, The Silent Hag usually represents someone or something that is able to turn brother against brother, family member against family member, comrade against comrade. But yet, the misaligned meaning of this card, its reverse, indicates unshakable loyalty and ludicrousy of speech. You have charisma, and you are loyal to the Grey Lady's Guard. I think you can call upon this Harrow card in its misaligned meaning and clear yourself of any negative emotion. So Ben, once per day as a free action, the Harrow card of the Silent Hag in its misaligned meaning will allow you to end any effect that you have or is being cast on you which has the mental, emotion or auditory traits attached to them. And that's now in your character sheet in the Actions tab.
Oh, I've been writing this down.
You can do that, but it's also in your character sheet now as well. As Zalara looks to Ronan, and she says, "There are not many children of the void here in Corvosa, but the fetchling people are welcome. Perhaps more so." Mark here, does he actually know what he is?
Oh, he absolutely knows what he is.
She smiles and she says, "No, of course not then. But you and Lumen have been together for quite some time. Please, on behalf of both of you, choose your card."
Let's go with that one.
Okay, the card of the Winged Serpent appears, and I really like the art for this one actually.
It is
Those-
sick.
Yeah, for those watching, it's sort of like a giant flying snake with rainbow-coloured wings. As Zalara looks, and there's almost a smile that comes to her face, and she says, The Winged Serpent, a very powerful being. Did you know it aids in bridging the gap between knowledge and prudence? You have been given a unique power, Ronan. Lumen's aid can potentially make you beyond anything you may have thought yourself possible. However, Lumen has no nefarious intent, but I can tell you that there is going to be a price for this power. One that Lumen cannot speak of yet, but I can, as one day the mother's price will come calling. But for now, the Winged Serpent will aid you in bridging knowledge and prudence and get you ready for the mother's price, as well as survive these times. I sense that you can use this bridge to ensure your aid to either yourself or anybody you deem an ally, to aid them to strike true and fair. And what the Harrow power of the Winged Serpent is for you, Ronan, is once per day as a free action, you can cast the spell Sure Strike, formerly known as True Strike, on anyone within 30 feet of you instead of the usual range of self. She then looks at Asher, and finally, the man who does not align himself with any of the deities of this world. However, Mr. Domhnall, this makes you practical, capable. You know what you're good at, and you stick to it. Choose your card, and may it aid you in what is about to come. Baz, please select your card.
Yes. I'm going to take from the top row.
Alright. So you choose your card, and the card of the trumpet appears. As Zalara nods at you, she says, the trumpet is very apt for you, Asher. You see, the trumpet is a positive card that represents a declaration of power. And you can call upon this power to smite any enemy that comes across your path. Tell me, this card also has some divine connections to it. What are your stances with the gods of Galarion?
They gain their power of worship. They are certainly powerful indeed, but I doubt that the worship of one more is necessary.
Fair comment. And they know this. So they are not afraid, even if you do not wish to offer them prayer or thanks. They are not afraid to aid the practical person. And thus, the trumpet's declaration of power comes to you. So once per day, as a free action, Paz, you can add your level to any damage roll. Once per day. This damage matches the weapon/method that is being used. Also be aware that this damage does double up on a critical success, so on a critical hit, and it does also ignore any resistances that the target may have, but it will not ignore immunities.
Fair enough.
Zalara nods. She says, very well. We shall now proceed to the next part of the Harrow reading. She takes the cards back, reshuffles them, and then lays out for the next part of the Harrow card reading, which is the spread. Now, from left to right, the three columns indicate the past, the present, and the future. Then from top to bottom, the three rows indicate the positive, the neutral, and the negative. The spread now reveals to you what has happened, what is happening now, and what potentially could happen. As mentioned, nothing is set in stone anymore. But yet, I can see traces. I can see possibilities. What has happened recently, though, was incredibly scary, even for myself in my unique circumstance, because what I predicted through these cards generally came to be in some form of fashion. The best way I can explain it is, in life, I would say I would have had an accuracy of about 65%. With the other four, very recently, with me in this form of undeath, the accuracy was closer and akin to 90%. So, let us first look at the past. Be aware, if any of your cards appear during the spread, that will hold a unique piece of significance to you. So Zalara turns over the first card. As the card of the Tangled Briar pops up. Ah, the Tangled Briar. In the positive past. It is a partial match. And what that means is some of the descriptor of the Tangled Briar will be true, while other parts are open to interpretation. Now, usually, the Tangled Briar is a card of ancient deeds. It indicates an object or a person from long ago that will somehow great influence on the current situation. Usually this person is lost or murdered in some foul way. Misaligned, the thorny past brings not only pain, but hope for the future. Now, although a partial match, this card is in its misaligned position. It is usually a very negative card, although it is in the right place of the lawful positive. What that means here is someone's actions in the past has brought great pain and suffering. Whoever this person is, despite everything they have done, is going to be here in Korvosa for what is about to come, and will actually be a symbol of hope. The next card in the unclear past is the card of the joke. Your card, Lou. Alex, once again, your card has come up, and this one, that's twice that's happened now. That's freaky.
Yeah.
So,
Wasn't that in the exact same place as well?
I don't think so. I think the bear was in the future last time.
You could be right, yes.
So, as mentioned, the card is in a place where it cannot be misaligned. As I mentioned as well, it shows a terror that must be overcome, but not by physical means. This terror can be defeated by trickery or artifice. This card can represent the value of humour in finding the way past a very difficult personal task. Now, usually, although it is hard to misalign this card, as the GM made a mistake, it does signal that the joke will be on you, but yet it's not in a misaligned position. So, as this represents you, this shows me that in the unclear past, you, Lou Duskbrew, on your travels throughout Galerion, have either witnessed or you know of what is about to fall Korvosa. You know that what is coming is going to be difficult. You do not know what the form will take, but you know that bravado, gusto, and maybe a pint or six will be needed in order to see yourself through. The card of the empty frame. Interesting. It is a partial match, but it is misaligned in the negative past. but usually this is a positive card. Usually, it represents a sense of loss that is palpable. The empty throne signifies that those who are gone will always be with us. They taught us important lessons if only we choose to listen. This card can bring information from a far-off or ancient source. However, if the empty throne is misaligned, the ghosts of the past are restless and might require effort to be set at peace. This stranger who I have mentioned, I see that they have left a lot of ghosts in their wake. Someone has caused something in the past that Lou Duskbrew knows of from his travels, whether he was there or whether he had merely heard of it. Something is coming to Korvosa and will be bringing their ghosts with them. But yet, as the Tangled Bride showed, there is going to be hope. Because despite that thorny past, the information is there for the future. As we move on to what is happening in the present. And Larric's card appears. The Silent Hag. As she looks at the card, and she looks at Larric, and she says, now this is interesting because it is a completely opposite match to the positive present. And it is also completely misaligned. As I mentioned before, the misaligned meaning of the Silent Hag represents unwavering loyalty, unshakable loyalty, and lucidity of speech. Larric, today you were given consent to aid who you thought was your friend about to be executed. Loyalty, unshakable. And that loyalty is going to be needed in the times to come. Something is coming. And unshakable people like yourself will be needed to stand firm in what is about to happen. I do not know what this individual will bring to Korvosa, but men and women and people like yourself will be needed. And as this matches your card from the choosing, Larric, you could very well influence the modern day to rally up for what is coming in the future. We now go into the unclear present, the neutral present, as the card of the lost. Strange. A card in the past that indicates ghosts, and now the card of the lost has come to the unclear present. Usually, this is a very negative card. One could even say a card of pure chaos and evil. It represents emptiness and loss of identity. The figure shown is destroyed, lost in a world of nightmares, tormented vistas and killers. For those who are wondering, on the card itself, there's kind of a visage of some form of undead, almost like a ghoul style figure, wearing resplendent golden armor with a golden shield on its back that's been battle damaged, and a sword being pointed downwards in its right hand, which is held aloft. There is green dark clouds and lightning cackling in the background as the Larric continues. For those under its influence, the world makes no sense. It evokes time where all is in bubble. Let's see. As when meeting someone who speaks in another tongue. Misaligned, the loss can indicate clarity of mind under duress. However, it is not aligned nor misaligned. It is there in the unclear present, which says to me that someone who is lost is coming to Korvosa. The world makes no sense, but they are under the influence of another. Trapped in their little bubble, they are prepared to do anything they can for them. But what it is not yet known. Then finally into the negative present we go. As the card of the midwife appears, and this card is strange. It is an opposite match and completely misaligned to its usual position in the Harrow deck. As I try to find the details for the midwife, there we go. Now, the midwife, which is ironic, this came up for the other group of adventurers, is a conduit to creation, although the midwife does not create life on her own. The key to the midwife is that it lets new life or information be born into the world. Their heart can see the good in even the worst situation. They can see the import of any new arrival. But this is the misaligned version, which means that the new arrival will not likely inspire much joy. Whoever is coming into Korvosa who is lost, I suspect that they are not connected to whoever and whatever it is from the past that is bringing ghosts with them. No, wait. They are connected, but they are not the same person. Do you understand what I mean? This Harrow reading seems to be indicating two people so far. One who is bringing an army of ghosts, and one who is caught under their influence and bubble. Whoever this person is coming in that bubble, whoever who is lost, gonna bring sadness. But what sort of sadness? Let's take a look at the negative future. Card of the Peacock appears. Oh, I'm sorry, I've got that wrong. This is not the negative future. This position is the positive future. So let's have a look at the positive future. The card of the Peacock, very flamboyant, as you can imagine. But what does flamboyancy have to do with one who is lost and one who is either caused or is bringing an army of ghosts? You see, the Peacock can cause the onlooker to freeze upon its gaze in their tracks at the sight of such beauty or ugliness. Wiser people accept the passage of time and dance out the Peacock's way. Its appearance also signifies a sudden personal shift in attitude or societal change. This Harrow reading is not concentrated on two figures. It's concentrated of three. I mentioned in the positive past that there was a figure who has done evil or some kind of harm, but is looking or is going to be able to make it right. I think the Peacock indicates that person. Beautiful in their own way. Whoever this individual is, I suspect is connected to the other two. I think some form of collective is coming to Korvosa. And yet, whoever this peacock is, who has done great harm in the past, I think their worldview has changed. Hence why in the future they will be able to assist in whatever is about to befell Korvosa. I think they are connected. Perhaps another person who either serves this one who is bringing an army of ghosts. It seems like we have one prominent figure here and two underlings potentially, one who is lost and one who has done great harm in the past, but yet has had a worldview change and could possibly aid in the future. Let's look at the unclear future. The card of the locksmith has appeared. Now this is a completely opposite match to its position on the Harrow board. But the locksmith presents subjects with the keys they need to unlock their destiny. They find the tools to access a new location, clue, or treasure. This card does not grant insight into how or where to use the tools granted. This card often represents a strange, ancient, or magical object. But as it's in the unclear future, the locksmith is indicating yet another figure. Some form of collective is coming to Korvosa, but this one is known to the people. Locksmith. Keys. From the last group of adventurers, we learnt that the infamous keylock killer of Korvosa, who murdered over 36 people just but 10 years ago, has returned to the city. In the unclear future, I think his return is imminent and inevitable. And now we go into the negative future, although I cannot see what could be more negative than the return of the infamous keylock killer. She looks at the card of the eclipse that has just been drawn, which is also a partial match. Zalara looks at it, considers it for a moment, compiles it with all the information from so far. The eclipse represents self-doubt and loss of purpose. This card afflicts faith, symbolizing how powers and convictions can falter under great distress. It can also indicate a loss of way along a path, usually misaligned, which is not the case here. It can augur an unheralded ability coming to the fore or a concealed location, which becomes revealed. But that has no purpose here. Representing self-doubt, a partial match, symbolizing powers and convictions that can falter under great distress. I think only one of the meanings of the eclipse here rings true, hence its partial nature. I don't think self-doubt and loss of purpose is what is going to happen. I think powers and the convictions of Korvosa and its people will falter under great distress. I see the individuals in this Harrow reading bringing forth something to Korvosa that will make everyone fall into distress. Whoever these instigators are, they do not mean well for the city. Perhaps their intentions are more insidious than what has just recently taken place with the riots and the death of Eardred II. But I do not think that whoever this group is mean well for this city. And who knows what they will bring to Korvosa. And with that, Zalara closes the Harrow reading. And to my players, you have some cryptic clues about what could be coming at you in this chapter. What are you thinking?
Very cryptic.
Cryptic. Though there are themes preluding.
Indeed. And lots of cryptic.
My energy is waving, says Zalara. Take this information as you see fit. The blessings of the Harrow. Consider it my thanks for what you did this day. Whatever is coming to Korvosa, it sounds like it will be devastating. So, if I were you, if there is anybody out there you wish to keep them safe, or maybe warn them of what is about to take place, I would do it now. Because, as the present cards indicated, whoever is caught in the bubble of this person who is bringing an army of ghosts, it looks like it will start very, very soon. And with that, Zalara vanishes, and you are left alone in Freelancer Street. What would you like to do?
I gather up the Harrow deck, put it back into its box, and slip it back into my robes.
Well. Just gonna put that out there. You speak to this ghost often?
No. My colleague was part of the team she mentioned, and she was basically a spiritual, quite literally, spiritual advisor for them.
Cool.
As to what's
Yeah.
happening. He is the one that's taken our friend up to the city for protection.
See?
I mean, speaking to the dead isn't that weird. We've all done it at least once, right?
Well, there's
Yeah,
speaking with the dead, and
totally.
there's fighting the dead, so...
Usually the dead do not give cryptic foreboding news of the future.
I mean, that's true. Nor do they go, and then you kill them.
Also,
Based on
Larric,
my experience, that's what happens.
yeah, definitely, Larric. I'll actually add here that you've also never seen an undead with that sort of power before, especially with such a connection to a Harrow deck. If you want, you can make a follow-up religion check on that if you wish.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, make it open roll. Let's see. Let's have
Open,
a
yeah?
roll. Yeah, open. Let's have a roll today.
Awesome. That's the button. It did it. 14.
On a 14, You think about it, and although Zalara is undead, you don't get the feeling she's a traditional ghost. Especially the way her Harrow reading powers were seemingly amplified, the way she has a connection to the Harrow deck. It's ringing bells, but you can't quite determine what. Maybe some of the bishops at the cathedral would know, but yeah, fated to be here, stuck here due to an unfinished business that even she doesn't know about, and yet power enhancement as well. Yeah, she's
Cool.
not she's not a run-of-the-mill ghost.
Yeah, I think I'll relay that to the group, and I'll just add, like, that's as far as I know. I mean, I may know a couple of guys that will, like, be able to explain it further, but then we'd have to go all the way to the cathedral and then talk to them, and it's. I mean, I'm down for it, but it can get a little bit boring.
Cool. Well, everyone seems to be you all seem very, very proactive people. I'm just a cook.
You any good?
I'm pretty good.
So there we go. What more do
I
you need?
just feel very out of place.
Well, what is place when you really think about it, hey?
These are strange times.
I'm not having an existential crisis in a strange house with a ghost lady.
Okay, go outside and have it there then. I'm not one to judge.
Go outside and have an existential crisis. Sorry, Paz.
I will be a minute.
I will be a minute or two. I beg your pardon, Paz. Please continue.
Well, you might just be a cook, but now you are in this situation with all of us.
A super cook.
Hang on, you ain't just a cook. You have magic moth.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You
It's
cannot
the moth.
pull the wool over
It
my
does
eyes.
mob things.
I saw what you done did.
Mm-hmm.
You then
You ice powers.
Yeah, you then all hear a voice enter your minds as Lumen speaks. And again, Lumen, when they speak to you, they use your own voice in your head to commune. However, you know it's coming from the moth. You know that it's a third-party individual who is communing with you, and you just know it's the moth. As Lumen says, "Oh, in my mother's name, Ronan."
Well, you're
Give it
not
up.
helping, are you?
Yeah, normal cook my ass, magic moth man.
Look at his vestments. He is one of the Grey Lady's guard. He is used to fighting individuals like ourselves, and even worse, all the time. The monk looks like he has been places and seen things. Attack ships off the shoulder of Orion. If anyone wants a movie reference. And that warrior over there, he has also seen his fair share. I don't think, as they say in the ranks, Asher, was it, that anybody here is particularly green.
Mm-hmm.
My name, for the record, is Lumen.
Lumen.
Well.
So we have a talking moth and a talking ghost. Lovely.
At least the moth makes more sense.
It doesn't.
I'm not taking any shit from you about my moth. Lumen's great.
No.
Yep.
Regardless
Yeah,
of
yeah.
our particular situation, I am not referring to the moth right now.
The moth has a name.
Lumen. We should discuss what to do now. We have an ominous warning of things to come. Blackjack's returns. There's a lot going on right now.
Ronan,
This-
she knew of the mother's debt, and I know you didn't know about it,
Thanks
and
for telling me.
I was forbidden to tell you yet. You were supposed to learn a bit more. However, although not as powerful as my mother, that Harrow reader, you'll need to get stronger. That's all I can say. I'm sorry, but the mother's price is coming and will need to be paid. I am forbidden to say more for now. Literally, I cannot physically speak it even if I wanted to.
I just love having a thing over my head.
Could we all hear when the moth is talking, or is it like the moth picks
How-
who it speaks to?
It's
How
not.
are you-
It. Oh, sorry. Go on. Sorry. Go ahead, Gray. No.
Oh, no, it's how I see it. It's like when Ronan talks to Lumen. Like he speaks out loud, but he hears a voice in his head.
Yeah. Here's the thing: the power of the familiar speech is technically the familiar can talk. So, generally speaking, there is no. I think there's something you have to take later on that gives you a direct telepathic connection.
Yeah.
So, Lumen is speaking out loud. It's just as it's a moth, this is its modus operandi of speaking. So it's Lumen. So let's put it in our story like this: Lumen does have the power to speak into your heads, but they do not have the power to concentrate it. Hence why Lumen was quiet in our fiction.
Voice in my head is less like it's in my head because it's a moth, but it's in my head as if it was a spoken word by like a humanoid, let's say.
Pretty much, yes, because that's why in the fiction of our show, like I said, I like to picture our games like a TV show or a movie. That's why Lumen actually didn't speak in our fiction last episode, because even though it's in the head,
it was far away.
Yeah, Lumen can't direct it to a singular head. So essentially, it would have gone into everybody's head. Everybody would have heard.
Yeah, awesome. So just when it's like when Lumen's speaking, just so I know if I hear it or not. Sweet.
Yeah, you do. Yes, yeah, you do. They cannot center it right now.
What's right now? So I mean, we have a choice. We can either go and get a little bit more information. You know, I've got a couple. I'm sure we all have our own ways of gathering some more information, and we can meet up back here in a couple hours. I mean, we did get up to a couple of shenanigans in the city quite recently, so it's whether we want to sort of garper and maybe go and check on our mate. I'll find the name in a second. Trinia. I have it written down because I'm.
Ooh, notes. And by the way, notes. Yeah, no.
Paying attention.
No, I will honestly turn around and say this campaign notes are needed.
Or we could always like go and just double check on Trinia. I know we was told she was like, we'll give them the A-OK, but how much do we really trust undead, not leaving Ghost Lady, and some vigilante who? How do you even know if they're the real Blackjack or not? Someone just pretending to, or just someone not just taking the name Blackjack, you know? So maybe we do that just as a bit of insurance, and then we do a bit of fact finding.
Could
I'm
do
on
that.
board with that.
I shall mention I will be reporting this to the City Watch.
Could you avoid
I
my
mean-
name?
Do we need to report
Yep.
anything to any bodies of authority right now?
I'm just a cook.
I
do
work
cook
within the
things.
law. Oh, and I believe that we are all upholding to the law, be it the law
Yeah.
of the
Yeah,
city
but
or
I
the
haven't
law of
done
the
anything
land.
illegal, so she doesn't
Have
need
you-
to know.
Yes,
Have
I
you
am
heard-
talking about reporting. Hey, there was a very interesting Harrow reading that foretells of things.
If you
Have
could
you
just
heard
if you
of
could do
this-
it vague, I'm in.
Have you heard the saying, "What you don't know can't hurt you"? You know, or omission
I
of
understand
fact
all of you
isn't
are
lying.
worried that I am going to report you guys. I am talking about the events that are transpiring,
All the events.
making sure that that the people there, are helping keeping this city safe.
Are they?
They've actually.
Hmm.
Zalara's voice actually comes out the ether. It's emanating from the Harrow deck. But she speaks like she's speaking out of a microphone. That's what it sounds like. It's not like a megaphone, but she does come across, and unlike Lumen, it's actually her voice, as she says from her deck, sounding very weak after that experience. The Field Marshal of Corvosa Cressida Croft already knows about me. We've never met or interacted, but she does know about me, as I was aiding the previous party who is connected to Lou, and they went into the dead warrens to try and retrieve the body of the ambassador's son, but never came out. But she does know about me. And with that, Zalara's voice fades, energy spent.
Oh. Well,
You elsewhere? Not feeling a lot of privacy right now.
So, I'm voting that we go skedaddle at the city so that we have a bit more privacy.
Hmm.
Go
And
check
if
on
things
Shinria.
are, if things
do
are
it.
going to get worse, then if we go see Trinia and my old pal who's protecting her, second she's free to and hidden to be safe, then he can come back and help us fight whatever's coming.
That is a great.
Nice to have that.
I have a question though. How do you all know Trinia? We haven't established this. We're just a group of people in a creepy house listening to a ghost tell us tarot things.
Yes, an unusual situation.
It
For
is
sure.
rather peculiar.
Okay, that's making sure.
And there's silence across the room after they
I know,
ask.
Fizz.
how,
No one
how
wants
do you
to
all
go
know?
first.
How do you all know Trinia?
I was-
Silence.
I was getting there. As Zalara said, I drink. Me and Trinia are drinking buddies. And on occasion, when she needs help with her painting equipment being picked up or dropped off, we hang out and I give her a hand. We spent a few times up in Eel's End throwing back some ales. Some local pubs down here.
Right.
And yourself?
Oh, I live on the same street as her. Like she's my neighbour.
Of course, I thought I recognised you.
What do you mean you recognise me? I'm no one special.
Well, I've been to her house. If you're the neighbour, I've seen you on the street.
That'll do it. Oh, I don't know if you have. I'm the night cook. I work at night in soup kitchens. So,
We've gone drinking at night.
Unless they're big day drinkers.
Yeah.
Dibs.
I'm an all-day drinker.
I don't discriminate. I drink all day.
Is that healthy?
For me, it is. I'm drinking right now.
Well,
you
there
see,
you go.
I've got. Hang on. Have I got one? Have I got 2 or 3 water skins on me? I can't remember how many I've chosen. Probably
Water
2.
skins or alcohol few skins?
But they
Oh, that'd be
look like
so
water
disgusting.
skins.
How do you wash out a water skin?
Oh,
Oh, it's,
easily.
ugh. It's worse than a hip flask.
Throws it away, buys a new one.
So wasteful.
If you're a professional, mate, you can wash out a hip flask. I've only got 2. There you are.
Okay. Not so
Yeah.
bad.
One of beer, one of cider.
Ooh, that's a horrible
Meat,
combination.
thank you very much.
Oh, yes.
It's a meat skin.
So I've told you about how I know Trinia. Lou over there's told us about that. Is what? What about you two?
Well, I met her on a job. Some thief had broken in and stolen some paintings. Got hired for the job. And yeah.
Oh, that was a
From there
while
it just
back,
became
wasn't
yeah, about a year or so ago.
it? Yes. She mentioned something in passing.
It was just, and then became alright friends. Would hang out from time to time.
Everyone now looks at Larric.
Everyone turns
And
to
La-
look.
And last but not least,
Fair. I'm also a drinking buddy, except it's not very often, and I don't help deliver art supplies.
I would say,
there we are then.
yeah, I would say all being natives of Corvosa and, or at least being around the city long enough. Lou's been here for a couple of years. You recognise the garb or the Grey Lady's Guard that works down the Grey District. They don't usually get a lot of time off.
Hmm.
So, been busy recently with the riots?
I mean, yeah. Yeah, I've been very busy. This is probably the first sort of afternoon or day off I've had in a little while.
They gonna be good with you, kind of just taking a stroll out the city?
Oh, yeah, no, they like A-okayed it. They said, do whatever you want. Like, it was free reign of the city, no holds barred.
Mm.
See, that's
like-
a win.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm here
Oh.
for a good time, not a long time, because I've got to go out to work.
Well, if you don't mind me making a suggestion, perhaps we'll head down and go see Trinia. Explain what's going on, make sure she's all fit and well, and then come back here. We'll speak to your friend at the Citadel, and speak to your order about these approaching ghost armies.
It would be good to confirm with our own eyes that she's safe.
Yeah. I'm just kind of in awe that you all have people to answer to be fair.
Well, with
answer-
me, it's
an-
more of an obligation since I.
But you
Tend
know
to
what
work.
I mean. It's like,
Answer to his... Oh, sorry.
like you've got your order. Lou, I'm guessing you have some sort of dojo-y typey thing?
Well, sort of. I mean, I'm technically on a sort of life's journey. Oh, I've stepped here for a while.
But you got
primarily,
friends that can help you out and things like that. People higher up.
I mean, yes, I have a sensei,
Yeah.
but he's busy teaching his orders ways to those who want to learn.
And then there's you, Asher. You've got people in the Citadel. I have a cook. I am a cook. I have customers.
Well, you also do have Lumen.
And whatever's going on there.
Honestly, haven't got a clue. Apparently, I have a debt. Good to know, you know? Finding out good things.
What, do you think getting here wouldn't be without a price?
You know what? You could have written it down. Like, I'm not one for read. I am one for reading. Like, some small print would have been good. Just putting it out there.
I'm sure if you save the city, there will be some contracts lawyer that would be able to fight your case and get your debt taken away. You know,
I don't think it's gonna work out like that.
you don't know
Held
till you
out a
try.
gut feeling.
I am so.
You say you're just a cook. Go on, Mark.
No, I was going to say, go on. No, please go ahead, Lou. I was just going to say, this is making me laugh because I know who bloody Ronan's patron is. But that's just making me laugh internally. But I beg your pardon. Go ahead, Lou.
Well, you say you're just a humble cook, but
I am a humble cook.
You-
I cook things.
you have the ears and eyes. Oh, the eyes and ears of the city. Those you feed, those you look after. They can pass you information. You're a good source of knowledge.
I'm good at knowledge. I won't get you wrong. Talking to people. Why do you think I work the night shift?
There we
Well,
are.
you have a higher likelihood of seeing something of the underworkings of the city.
Don't count.
And to be fair,
Don't
what
count
we
on
had
it.
done today with the supposed new or returning blackjack, maybe a day or so out of the city would it was all some good.
Oh yeah, because I'm having a minor life crisis at the moment in time.
Would it help if you cooked us lunch to like help calm you down?
You know what? I'll put on some lunch. What are people fancying? What have they actually got food here, or do I have to make something out of rations?
You'll probably have to rustle something.
All right. What rations you've got? You've got alcohol. I can use that.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, this is good for making something.
I'll tell you what. Let's just use 2E's just top-down design philosophy. Let's have an open cooking law roll,
Yeah.
then, Ronan, and we'll see how it turns out from the roll.
Like
Do
this
it.
is my whole goal every session.
Yeah,
Just to cook
Just
something.
a mission, just to fit in cooking law
Cooking law.
everywhere.
Do it.
Jam it in.
Might I be
It's
able
a
to
test.
help with a
Yeah, sure. How do you want to help?
by giving him access to my own rations, which I would have added some little spices because I like tastes.
That will enable Ronan to make this roll to begin with, rather than grant any bonus. But Ronan, what did you roll?
I rolled a 10.
So it's just
Possible.
it's just passable, middle of the road food.
Sweet. It's warm and I didn't have to pay for it. The best kind of food.
But I suppose that's what also stands out in this derelict house, which looks like it hasn't been lived in for some time. Ronan, in these conditions, is able to whip up passable, middle of the road food. That's impressive.
So we'll finish eating. We'll go trek on Trinia, and sort our heads out.
You know what? I'm actually going to give you a minor XP award of 15 XP for the middle of the road idea and feeding everybody.
Yeah.
Everyone 15 XP.
Yeah.
Because that's
Winning.
fun. That's fun.
Technically, we could turn this into like a cooking show and just earn XP that way.
Oh God.
Oh no.
Wait,
Bomb the GM. Bomb the GM.
So the greater story of the Curse of the Crimson Throne, that's just the ad break of the cooking show then?
Oh,
Yeah, pretty
yeah.
much.
The Curse of the Crimson Throne is the there's a prelude, not prequel,
Prelude.
prelude of the cooking recipe.
Oh no, it's just the backdrop. Like, welcome to the apocalypse. Today we're cooking this.
The game becomes
Rabbit
Curse of
stew.
the game becomes Curse of the Cooking Throne.
Everyone needs like a bigger
this is-
backstory. I can make
This is just reminding me of a skit that I once saw where it was meant to be like a very like standard cooking show, but outside the window there was just so many things happening that were far more interesting than here we're baking a vanilla cake.
Mate, I'm on board.
How? Oh my god! If me or Lou gets cooking as well, it could become Big Cook, Little Cook because we're short dwarfs.
Oh god.
Oh boy, yeah. I said this last
remind
session,
me,
folks.
remind
this is
me.
gonna be yeah.
Do you have a beard?
Yeah.
There we are. We're the new hairy bikers.
Oh no! What the ones who ride Pegasus is called in Corvosa again?
Oh, they're the Sable Company, and for the
Harry-
record, just for
Very Sable
clarification,
Company.
yeah, for the Hairy Sable Company, and for the record, they ride hippogriffs.
Oh, sorry, my bad. But yeah, there you go. That's like a motorbike.
You just cruise around Corvosa and the surrounding lands and riding hippogriffs and just
Yeah.
collecting foraging ingredients. And oh my god, I'm going to stop right there because this is actually sounding like a good idea for a show. So
Be a great idea for a campaign.
The
Go
beard
My
is
whole
like-
goal in this whole campaign is to use cooking lore as much as I can.
Yeah.
hey, there is downtime. There is downtime that does crop up. So yeah, level next skill increase, expert cooking lore.
Oh please,
Yeah.
please, make my day.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Level 15, he charges into battle with a skillet.
I do have cutlery. You should check what's in my backpack because it's quite funny. I have cutlery and cookware, so I could run in there with a frying pan.
Everything but the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
You get telekinetic projectile on the primal skill list.
No, but I have needle darts.
That'll do.
Forks are stabby enough. Off they shoot.
Oh dear. Oh dear, this is going to be one of those campaigns. Right, okay, but let's get back to the game though. What are you doing then? So you're going to go and visit Trinia?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's the plan.
Then Lou can let you know that you will actually need to head out of Corvosa and go 12 miles up the road to a place called Trots. It's basically a roadside tavern / inn for travellers. If you leave now, you'll get there late past midnight, but you will get there it's basically a day there, a day back.
Would it shorten it if we got like a carriage or something?
Roads around here, I would say that it would cut the time down in half, but you'll have to head over across the Jagare River to the East Shore district of Corvosa, because believe it or not, that's where the stables and the stable master is, or the primary one who sells for out of town transportation. Corvosa is quite a packed in, cramped and tight city. For example, there are no trees here in Corvosa. They all got uprooted long ago by concessional vote because the roots were destroying all the houses and the buildings.
Oh.
So for out of city transportation, you have to go over to the stable master in the East Shore district first. But it's definitely possible.
Cool. I mean, I'm down to pay for a cab if you guys want to like get there just a little bit snappier.
And it depends on how much it costs.
When the oh, what's it called? Hang on, let me get to the top of the map. Well, me and Ronish were previous session. Wouldn't they have their own little horse and cart sort of thing?
Not in that part of Old Corvosa.
No, I
Those
meant the monastery sort of thing.
the monastery, no. They mostly get everywhere by foot because, to be honest with you, Sensei Takeda also considers that to be a part of your training.
Ever.
But I will say, from the Corvosa map, the fastest way to trot would be to head up to the Corvosan district of Trail's End, and then there's a path/road that heads out of Trail's End, trailing off to the northeast. That is the fastest and most direct way to trot. The other two roads out of Corvosa do also get there, but they kind of snake and bend.
Us the place to like grab a quick horse and carriage anyway, so go and inquire.
Sure. All right then. So, if you want to nip over to East Shore and you inquire about hiring a horse and cart for a day, 2.
Yeah, I don't need to make. Do I need to make skill checks to use it, or can I just kind of use it?
Is anybody here base trained in nature? Have a look at the party sheet. Let's have a look. I see that Ronan has a expert proficiency +8 in nature.
I do have nature.
It would be Ronan who'll be able to pilot.
Awesome. Yeah, should we go for a 2-day? Get there, spend the night, chill, come back.
I can't see why not.
And I would say with the horse and cart, you'll get there in half the time, so 6 hours.
Sweet.
All right. So you head over to East Shore. We won't flick the map over. We'll just go there in the theatre of our minds. And you go to the stables, and yeah, there is a horse and cart available to you. And if you want to hire a horse and cart, then that will cost you a total of, here we go, 3, 6, 7 copper pieces per person, unless you want to try and haggle it down.
Per person? You're costing me per person for a carriage. If it was like, so if I was on my ones, I get it cheaper.
I'm just going here off the rules of the game. Basic services, a caravan, which this would be like a taxi transport, is 3 copper pieces per 5 miles. Trots is 12 miles away, so I'm making that 7 copper pieces. But
if I hired it in my name by myself, could I then get the others on board, like down the road?
That
to get cheaper.
That will require the skill check.
I kind of want to try the skill check. I feel like he's trying to cheat us out of money.
Well, it has been hard times in Corvosa. When you get over to East Shore, even the effects of the riots can be seen over here in the East Shore district. There are broken, damaged, buildings smashed up. The city is still recovering. It's functioning, but the city has seen better days. That is what the last month has looked like. Okay, if you wish to try and haggle down the price, give us a open diplomacy check, and I'll let you know the DC is 12.
I think as I do this, I'm just trying to explain to the guy that charging me more per person is like not it, and he should be charging for the actual carriage itself. Awesome. So that's a 20 on the die for a 24.
Critical success. The owner of the stables looks at you sheepishly and feels bad for the price that he has asked, but he motions that it was just due to the damage that has even been done to his business, and you see that even his shop has been smashed up, but you convince him that under these times, getting back to that Corvosan routine of normality will be better. So
Yeah, but,
he
like,
said,
I get
Yeah.
it. Just like you don't, just because someone got you, doesn't mean you have to try and get me.
he turns around and he'll turn around and tell you that what he will do then is he will give you the base price for renting out a horse and cart per person, which includes feed. It will be still 12 copper pieces, but you'll only have to pay for 2 people. So 24 copper in total. But that will be for all 4 of you. That will be with feed for the animals, so you don't have to worry about the horses, and that will be for days rental. Because technically a caravan is usually a taxi, but it says here transportation for a carriage is 2 silver pieces, so I'm roughly basing hiring off that. I think usually in these sorts of settings and places people would just buy outright, but I think with Corvosa, especially the way it is right now, they're not going to be too fussy, and I do see them having a rental service to get about the city quite quickly, and also some transport between here and places like Haas and Janderhof comes in handy.
Cool. Yeah, I'll pay him the money.
Right, so that's 24 copper, or if you want to do it another way, 2 silver, 4 copper.
Yep. That is what I have done. We are good to go.
Alright, so I would like you all to move your tokens as you leave Corvosa to the Trails End district of Corvosa, off to the northeast, north of Northbridge and the Thief Camp region. Trails End is basically a poor and, quite frankly, downtrodden and shantytown district of Corvosa. However, it does have its charms to it, and this charm comes from the fact that Trails End, although technically a part of Corvosa, is also separate, as it's directly not connected to the city itself, which is kind of refreshing. Corvosa, even before all of this travel started, could be a lot. So sometimes coming to a place like Trails End, believe it or not, it's a bit of a breath of fresh air. I'm actually going to ask the player characters, considering its position and its separation, does any of our current characters either live or come from Trails End? I know Ronan lives in the Midlands district, and Lou is at the Jade House in Old Corvosa. But what about Asher and Larric? Would they have any connection to Trails End at all?
I would say Asher has definitely done maybe a few bounties here that either, were originated from here or, ended up here.
Fair. Or what about you, Larric? Or you, cathedral born and raised, so to speak?
Yeah, I think Larric is because he's not like pure Pharasma through and through. I think he would have. I mean, I'm happy for him to have come from here. I don't. He doesn't feel like he is from the cathedral and like was raised there. Like that's where his life is. I think he came to the cathedral a bit later than most. Yeah, he's probably from Trails End and has also done his sort of religious duties regarding the dead here as well.
All right. No, I like that a lot. Okay, so another question. Actually, how old is Larric? Generally, they enter.
Like,
Yeah. Generally, dwarves
I'd
enter
say
younger. Yeah, go on.
he's just entered the latter half. No, so he's not halfway through what a normal dwarf lifespan would be. He's like in like the 3/4 bit. So he's just entered the 3/4.
Right.
Like, he's not on his way out. Like he's
No.
not on death's door, but like
So
he's been around. You know what I mean?
So dwarves in Pathfinder, I think they're about 450-year lifespan. So 2 centuries plus.
Yeah, let's go 275. I feel like 275 is a nice number.
Okay, so
But he's got plenty of time left. But he's also he's lived a fair amount as well.
that's fair. That's fair. So what I will add to that, if this is okay, Ben, is although you were very young at the time, your parents were not sort of like Corvosan first settlers, but they perhaps came here on one of the first boats. So, okay, so yeah, in that case, you roughly know Trail's End since its inception. You have memories of Trail's End being set up to also have a bit of separation from the cultural tensions with the Schwanti who were residing around the Grand Mastaba at the time. That's the name of the pyramid that Castle Corvosa sits on. So your family kept you away from all that, staying here in Trail's End, and you're, if this is cool, feel free to change any of it, but I'm picturing that you're sort of a known figure to Trail's End, like somebody they don't see often, but you are a familiar face because, you know, you've been here, or your family has been here since the start, and that's, I wouldn't say famous, but you know what I mean, though, Ben. It's
like he's not like no one like drops everything to come and greet him when he turns up. It's not like that, but he like the people know him or know of him. He's I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, so some of the longer-lived ancestries who reside here in Trail's End, they recognise you. Trail's End is mostly full of humans, though. Mostly the Varisians and even some Schwanti reside here, them being the natives of this land. And, well, Schwantis and Varisians in this time period are looked down by the Chelish native Corvosans, or Chelish, what's the word I'm looking for? Chelish descended Corvosans, Greg?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be more right. So they kind of have a nice little communion here, and yeah, you're definitely treated as one of that communion. As you stroll by on the horse and cart, they kind of like give you a nod of greeting. Some of the longer live ancestral kin who have perhaps known you since you were in Nipper and still live, they give you a "How do, Larric?" all that sort of thing. And there is one girl who actually runs up, not dangerously close, to the horse and cart, who you actually recognise, Larric. She is a young kid, no, literally older than 12 years old, by the name of Brianna Soldado. But she is more commonly known to everybody, especially her mother, Tacy, as Breeze. She's a local figure, Varisian features, human. She just smiles and she just sees you in the carriage walk by, and she says, Larric, good to see you, Larric. Are you she coughs. Are you coming to the summer fair tomorrow? The spring, not summer fair. Are you coming to the spring fair tomorrow that we always hold? And she says with a beaming smile, are you coming to the spring fair?
Oh, we'll be coming back through here, won't we?
Technically,
Like,
yes.
this would be
Yeah.
the route back to because we're coming back tomorrow, aren't we? That was
Yeah.
the agreement. I'd be like, yeah, sure. I can't promise like full attendance. I'll be completely real with you. I don't want to lie to you, but I am coming back this way, so I will be sort of coming through Trail's End, so I'll be able to spend a little bit of time here to sort of like, have say some hellos. Then I do need to be off again, but
Yay.
I will do my best to like, come over, but contain excitement. Yeah.
Hey, can you tell us any stories of skeletons you smashed up recently?
Yeah, it was dope as hell.
And she kind of
And
has
then
a
I
big. Yeah, she kind of has a big
Gale.
beam. Yeah,
I'll sort of
so
try and like tug on the reins to have Rowan like slow the horse down even more, so I can sort of expand the story a little bit. And I'll probably embellish it enough to make it more fun, but not so much it makes me look like too amazing. You know what I mean? Like make it a more fun story, but not embellish it so much that I look super dwarf, because superhuman doesn't work here.
Yeah, no, Breeze's mother, as you begin to do this, Breeze's mother actually comes out of her house and she approaches the carriage and she says, Breeze, what are you doing out? You see the visage of Tasty Soldado, who is a Varisian woman, long brown hair with a top ponytail, mid-30s, going on 40s, has definitely seen some things in her life. Larric, for example, her husband actually perished in the line of service for Corvosa. You actually also know, Larric, that Tacy's brother-in-law, one Growl Soldado, also serves actually in the Corvosan Guard. Apparently does quite well, a crown sergeant, and Tacy's husband, Growl's brother, lost his life in the line of service. But she runs up here, she said, Breeze, what the devils are you doing now? Oh, hello Larric, good to see you again, hope you've been well.
Yeah, nah, all good. Looking forward to the fair tomorrow. I should be here for some of it.
Well, I'll tell you
Hopefully.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. She looks down at Breeze. This one hasn't been well at all. And I told her that she should stay in bed and rest and get better for the summer fair tomorrow, or else somebody may be too sick to go. I'm fine. I'm fine, Mum. Don't worry about me. Breeze, get indoors now, or else you are not going to the fair tomorrow. Oh, Mum. And with that, Breeze walks off and she just turns and faces. Yeah, go ahead, Larry.
As Breeze walks off, can I I want to grab his shoulder and be like, you'll be alright, mate. And then cast Lay on Hands as she leaves. I don't know if it's going to do anything, but I've got it.
Okay. Yeah.
Just to see if it will take the edge off a little bit. I'm not expecting this to cure her of all her ills, but it might just take the edge off, make her feel a bit better.
Yeah,
taking some paracetamol.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting point, and I do beg your pardon, because I should have asked as the GM. Anybody doing anything while all this is going on? Anybody with any other input?
I was going to ask if the child's been seen by any physician. If I can do any treatment as well.
Do you say that out loud in character?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody with anything else?
You go.
Asher, though not having said anything, there is a saddened look on him when he looks at the child.
Tasty actually gives you an acknowledgement, Asher, a nod of hello. You don't know each other personally, but she does recall you and the work you've done around the area. Ronan?
Doesn't know medicine, but he knows nature.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of, like, is what she, like, being ill, is it the cause of it being, like, a natural, like, it's down to conditions, or is it actually a medical thing?
All right, let's get some rolls in. Larric, normally you would spend a focus point to lay on hands, but you'll have plenty of time to refocus. So here's what I'll ask. As you lay on hands on Breeze, can I have a medicine check off you? And Ronan, can I have a nature check off you? And yeah, let's make these public rolls, just in case you want to use any hero points. There is 4 currently in the pool.
I need to look at something.
Sure, so let's have a medicine roll from Larric to begin with.
Wasn't
Am I including on that as
Lou
well?
gonna do the medicine check?
I'll get to Lou in a moment. I'm just going through an order of events here. So,
Awesome.
Larric, medicine check for you first, please.
Cool. So I just wanted to make sure I wasn't taken away from Alex.
No, you're good.
Ugh. Hey, I should have assuranced it.
Well, you can hero point spend and use assurance if you wish.
Oh, we have other people doing other things.
No worries. So you touch Breeze, you cast Lay on Hands, and as far as you're aware, okay. Let's go over to Ronan next. Ronan, can I have that nature check, please?
Yeah, I was just checking natural medicine didn't apply, and it doesn't.
No.
23.
You look around and kind of scan the environment, whether what's happening with little Breeze and her sickness is due to the environment around her. You can say with the confidence of a critical success exactly that no conditions, although this is the shanty/poor part of town, everything is fine here, conditions-wise. Lou,
Fair enough.
she looks at you and she says, because you, despite your style, you wear obvious monk vestments, correct?
Yeah, I've got a proper sort of monkly robes on.
She looks at you and she says, oh, Master Monk, I appreciate your offer, but I must admit, my brother-in-law, Grau, he has asked for aid from the Bank of Abadar, the Grand Vaults. He has connections to them as he is a member of the Corvation Guard. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if I could pay for the treatment or if I can afford payment for the treatment. The Abadarians do things generally. Coin has to exchange hands. It is their ways. But the cleric we've been told about, a Vujran man by the name of Ashani Datri, he is apparently good, according to my brother-in-law, but it seems like you don't need a sense motive check to know that she's trying not to ask for help, Lou, but at the same time she kind of wants to as well, because sometimes the Abadarians, they charge a pretty penny.
Asher is going to fetch his coin pouch and
Well, first things first, Asher. Let's conclude what's happening with Lou, but that's also valid. Lou, go ahead.
Well, my dear lady, I will not ask for any simple coin. I've travelled from the farthest east to the furthest west, and I'm still travelling around. And what I hate to see is any child be very poorly. So, if you wouldn't mind, I'll see if I can help in any way, shape, or form while I'm here.
Oh, well, I hate to ask, but if you insist, it seems like... However, it seems like... To the hells with it. Listen, I can see that you're doing something, so I don't wish to interrupt that. But if you can come by my house on the way back, I would dearly appreciate it. Appreciate it.
That will be absolutely fine. While we've been sat here chatting, and I've seen this child be unwell, can I do a quick medicine check to just to figure out if I know what is possibly wrong with her?
You certainly can. That's what was coming next. If you care to make your medicine check, and while you roll it up, public, we'll go back to Paz. What were you thinking with the coin purse, my friend?
Well, since this is, of course, I was assuming that this is properly heard from everyone who was sitting in the wagon.
It was.
Yeah, and the whole thing about the absorbent price. Yeah, Asher's gonna flip out his coin purse and look to the woman. How much do you need?
She kind of waves her hand. Oh no, please, please, please don't. You've already done, and you already do enough for us, Mr. Dunwall. What Grau has told me is this cleric, this Shani, although a member of Abadar's faith, he apparently, according to Grau, will actually at least do evaluations for free, and apparently he is actually a pretty good alchemist as well, so he will at least look at Breeze first, and then if a price needs be, then he will state the price at the time. So I don't know how much it's going to cost, so even if I wanted to accept your aid, I'm not exactly sure how much I would ask, if I'm honest. But as she says this, Ronan, any of the magical traditions, whatever your strongest one is, you can give me a open spellcasting check if you wish, to add to this scenario and situation, if you wish, Greg.
Yeah, go. Let's go. That's a 27.
Skill used?
Nature.
Okay, that would have been, using nature would have been an increased DC, only slight, just a +2 to the 13 for a 15. But once again, you smashed the critical success. You know that if Breeze is ill, then obviously a remove disease spell of some kind. I think it's called Restoration in Pathfinder.
Ooh. In that case, what did Lou discover for his medicine check, by the way?
Don't worry,
Because I have a thing that I could potentially do, but I need more information.
Yeah, I will let you know that Restoration is a 2nd level spell, and for spell casting services, a 2nd level spell would cost 7 gold.
Oof.
Let's go over to Lou. What did you roll for your medicine check, Alex, my friend?
I rolled a 23.
That is a critical success based off a DC of 13. Lou, you take a brief look at Breeze, through her story, through speaking to Larric, and through her walking away. something is not right with Breeze at all. You can tell that she has symptoms, but they're weird symptoms. You notice that Breeze was blinking her eyes a little bit, and she put her head to her temple when she coughed, which indicates a headache. You notice the coughing. For a very young girl, she seemed to be incredibly on the verge of fatigue, and as she walked away, on the back of her neck, you did actually notice a red rash. And all of those symptoms together, and by the way, for any real-world medicine experts out there, I don't know, so I can't make any comparisons, but in the fiction of our game, those symptoms altogether don't usually go, or not in a combination of illness/sickness/disease that you're familiar with. You've travelled the world.
Curious.
What's curious?
Well, with everything Breeze is showing in her illness, every condition she's got, every little symptom that I can see does not match as one collective issue.
But you definitely think it's a disease then? Or some sort of affliction?
It is some sort of affliction, yes, but as to
Right.
what it could be,
That's all I
that
need
is
to
a mystery.
know. And I just kind of go, Lumen, do me a favor. Can you fly over to her for me?
Lumen. Hold on, I need to ask Greg something. Do you have restoration already? Lens affliction. Gentle restorative magics.
Nature.
Oh,
version.
is that the nature version?
This is the nature version.
Okay, so this is the first time we have done this spell before. Lumen picks up what you're putting down, but I will need a stealth check with Lumen, please.
Even if he's see, let's just hope. I'm just trying to make it subtle. If I can't do it, it will be unsubtle.
Yeah, okay, because Breeze may bat a moth away.
A natural 20 for 24.
Oh yeah, Lumen is right up there as you go, and the moth sneaks up because familiars can cast spells. It says here one willing creature. I don't know if technically if they're being snuck upon, would they be willing?
But if they're
I'm
sick,
gonna argue
are they
this.
willing to get better?
Are they willing to get better is the exact point.
Like, do they want to be better?
I'll tell you what. Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. If you're down for this, let's let the dice decide. Flat check. You gotta beat a 3, so 4 or over. If you're down for that, Greg.
Yeah, if not, I've wasted the spell.
Or you could just tell me and I could just take the moth with me if I'm a trusted person. Like, yo, this moth is gonna make you good.
She's been told she can't go to the fate if she's poorly, so she'd have the will to want to get better.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fine. That's good. Now we're running out of time for today, but let's resolve this first. So I'm going to say she's going to be willing because of what her mum told her. Lou, that was awesome. I'll tell you what, you're getting a hero point into your pool for that, so you're up to 5. You cast the spell through Lumen, Ronan, but there is definitely some resistance that even you can feel with your connection to Lumen. can I have a spell attack roll as you are about to make a counteract check?
Yeah. So I press the counteract button, yeah?
Yes, go for it. If it doesn't work, just make a spell attack roll.
Natural 20 for
Oh
26.
my
God.
Oh my
Yeah.
Loaded dice over here.
I
Holy
got
Let's
shit.
scared for a moment because of the 2 that it flipped to the 20. Hell yeah.
Oh,
What the F?
boys from the dwarf.
Boys from the
Boys from the
north.
dwarf.
Okay, so here's how counteracting basically works in Pathfinder 2e. I call it a step system. A step system of spell rank and levels. So, let's put it this way. What the counteract or cleanse affliction spell does is it sets you at a certain level on the step. This case, being a level 2 spell, you start on step number 2. The affliction is generally on a higher step level. I won't reveal the number. And whether you attain a critical success, regular success, failure, etc., depends on how far up the steps or move down the steps you go. Your target is to rise up the steps enough to meet the target level, thus you beat it. Now with that in mind, I'm going to let you all know now that even on a critical success, what is the look on Ronan and Lumen's faces, or rather, what's their internal reactions when you know the spell fails?
Oh. Huh. I think Ronan just kind of looks at her in horror. And then just like the look of horror with just Lumen just kind of just floating there in a daze as well.
Wait a minute. I need to make a correction. Critical success. Counteract the target if its counteract less rank is 5 or less. I do beg your pardon, Greg. This is real bad of me. But technically, you actually, as it's rank 5 or less from level 2. Okay. You succeed actually. I do apologise. But I'm still going to ask for the reaction because what you get is the fact that Bree Soldado is now cured of your affliction, but from the second rank of your spellcast, that critical success was needed to do it. So what I'm getting at here is you did it, but you and Lumen took all of your power.
Yeah, once again, it is the look of horror and shock as normal diseases that he's fought and helped with around Moon Street have never been this tough and shouldn't be this tough for a simple like cold or illness.
We close today's session of Lumen flying back over to Ronan's side. She lands on your shoulder. That cold sensation that Lumen gives. It's that painful sensation. Lumen is worried as Lumen whispers into your ear an almost feminine voice now speaking to you, Ronan, breaking the veil of disguise, question mark, that Lumen has always used with you before. She says, that is not normal.
I know.
And you can just tell as we get a dual camera shot, one of Bree Soldado's rash disappearing from the back of her neck, and then Lumen, those eyes on her wings, looking down at the pocket of the robes that Zalara's Harrow deck is placed into. And that's where we'll close tonight's session of Curse of the Crimson Throne. 120 XP for curing Bree Soldado.
120, nice.
Yay! What are we on now? What's like our total at the moment?
455.
Thank you. 455.
Alright, yeah.
Hey, we got
Alright.
a spring fair tomorrow. Hell yeah.
God damn! What an emotion roller coaster.
Yeah.
That was.
Sorry about.
You
sorry
failed. Oh no!
No,
you succeeded, but you.
No, it's
but you
because I think, or maybe this is restoration, but usually counteract usually moves you up and down the stairwell. But it says here for this counteract. Now I don't know if this is a remaster thing. Counteract the target if its counteract rank is 5 or less. And
Yeah, it might just be because it's nature based, and
that's possible.
Yeah, making it distinct from
the
normal one.
Because you can probably figure out from the counteract being a critical success needed to beat it, whatever happened to Breeze was rank 5.
Right on the edge.
What?
Damn.
Yeah, what the hells does this all mean? Thank you for sticking with us today. Bit of a choppy session, as you can see with all the edits we had. We had some microphone issues at the start. Hopefully, I've made some nice smooth transitions and edits for you. But regardless, welcome to what is only the beginning. Till next time, folks, take care of yourselves and have a good one out there. See you later.